We're handing over to May Armstrong, who is the Development and Enterprise Officer for Sunny Cycles, the Glasgow charity and social enterprise. So over to you, May, and you can tell us a bit more about the background to that.
Hi everybody, my name is May. I am the development officer at Sunny Cycles. What I do is find other avenues for the charity we are to develop, come stronger, and get more people involved in the cause. Our ultimate cause is health and well-being. The way that we get there is by providing adaptive cycle sessions so that everybody in the community can enjoy the benefits of cycling. We do that in a number of ways, which I'll discuss later in my presentation. It's lovely to be here. It's lovely to know more about what the Rotary does. And thank you, Bill, for inviting me to speak. Who are Sunny Cycles? We're a charity and social enterprise based in Glasgow. We run across 3 locations within Glasgow, and we've been active for 4 years now. So we're a very new charity, but we've already made a big impact. We've definitely gotten the community involved in a number of ways, and I would say that our charity is very much community-led. We're a Scottish charitable incorporated organisation, which means that our members have a lot of control over the direction of the organisation. We're very keen to hear what our members think, what kind of directions they'd like us to take, and for them to have a say in the services that they use and they volunteer for. So our mission is all about health and well-being, and we support people with disabilities and or in difficult circumstances to build confidence and improve their health and well-being through cycling. And as you can see, we provide adaptive cycles, and we also support people to learn to cycle and develop their skills through either one-to-one sessions, group sessions such as this one, which I'll talk about a little bit later, care home sessions as well. We do everything from help people enjoy cycling through companion cycles like this one here, and also this one here, as well as teach people to use trikes or build up to a skill to ride a 2-wheel bicycle. And we are a very busy charity. We are very involved in the community. We connect and do partnership working a lot. We work from 3 different spots in Glasgow, which are Victoria Park, Glasgow Green, and Maryhill, and we often run activities 6 days a week. So to focus on what we do specifically, it's all about health, well-being, and inclusion. That's our mission. And inclusive and accessible cycling is how we get there. Why we exist is because there are so many people in Scotland that have identified that they want to get involved in cycling and experience the health benefits, the well-being benefits, and also access to opportunities and the fun and joy of cycling. So why we exist is that we have looked into the research of what are the barriers behind getting more people enjoying cycling, either for leisure, health, sustainable transport. So our core focus is people with disabilities and additional needs. And we found that, I shouldn't say we found, we have researched from the Walk Wheel Cycling Index that only 7% of disabled people cycle at least once per week in Scotland, but 32% who don't cycle would like to. And this is not just about people who have identified disabilities. Across the entire population, 29% of Scottish residents would cycle more if they had access to adaptive cycles, such as the ones that we have that you saw on the last slide, including trikes or hand cycles. We also know that many people feel they lack the confidence to cycle, which is something that we really hone in on, and that it's ultimately a social thing that we're trying to do. People want to cycle with each other as part of getting more involved in the community. And 42% of residents would cycle more if there was training and organised rides available, which is something that we provide. We also know that women are much more unlikely to cycle than men. This can be a number of reasons, including safety concerns, lack of confidence, and cultural barriers. And we know that 28% of women in Scotland who don't cycle would like to. And overall, across these 3 previous factors, it all comes down to social inclusion and well-being. And we know that social inclusion and loneliness are associated with poorer mental health outcomes, but also physical health outcomes. And I think it's unfortunately something that we would maybe all recognise in our own communities, that social isolation is unfortunately common, and it often comes along with many other problems that we need to support people with. We found that We know that older adults and people with special needs and long-term health conditions are at greater risk of this loneliness and isolation as well. It can also be a cultural issue in that 43% of people from ethnic minority groups who don't cycle would like to are missing out on all of these well-being benefits that we know that cycling can bring. And I hope you will see that with the smiles on the faces of people in our group. I'm going to show you. So in terms of what we do day to day, 6 days a week, is we provide learn to ride sessions for children, adults, and families. That can involve one-on-one coaching if we need to. People are very welcome to take it as slowly as they want and build up to trying different kinds of bikes, come and see us multiple sessions. Some people, after a couple of hours, are ready to get up and go. So our approach is really tailored on people, and our team have years of experience helping people to cycle. And I'll discuss this later, but many people in our volunteering team also have additional needs themselves or have come from challenging backgrounds. They understand what it feels like to not have the confidence to go and do the things that you want to do, and they bring that empathy to the teaching. We also do skills and confidence building sessions. You can see one of them here at a family confidence building session in the bottom right hand corner. We also do lead rides for all across the city of various different lengths or different kind of challenging or less challenging kind of rides. And here's some pictures on the top right and bottom left of different places that we go. We run them very regularly from all three locations. We also do women's specific rides to help women feel comfortable and confident and build community. We also provide rides for New Scots, which are those in the asylum system who face issues with transport, cost of living, a lot of social isolation. Some of the stories that we hear of the conditions that people live in are incredibly heartbreaking, and we are so grateful to be able to provide some respite from that and a little bit of access to community in Glasgow through cycling. We also provide adapted cycle hire, and we get many families with people with disabilities coming to us to try out some different adapted cycles. We can book one-on-one sessions. We can book sessions where people can just come in, look at the range of cycles we have and try and find the right one for their particular needs. And we love to accommodate that. We love being able to match people with the thing that they need. So the things that we are trying to bring about by the services that we provide are physical, mental, and emotional well-being. We want to see improved health, happiness, and well-being across the board. We also feel that inclusion and accessibility are so important to us, and we want people to feel welcomed, included, and able to take part in whatever way they would like to, including volunteering, coming to activities, and becoming members of our organisation to have a say in what we do. We're also all about building stronger connections and relationships and belonging. As I said, we do a lot of partnership working. We work with other charities. We reach out to groups that might be struggling with their health and well-being and offer them our services, as well as we incorporate different community-led spots like cafes or community centres or different groups also with volunteering opportunities in our lead rides. We'll often make them a destination in and of themselves just to show people what's going on in Glasgow and what they have on their doorsteps as well. Another key focus for us is participation, including building skills and safety and confidence. And we also want to give people opportunity to volunteer and help people and use that empathy they have as service users to go and help other people gain skills and confidence and improved health and well-being that they've felt. We want to develop our volunteers as well and develop leadership skills in people that, from my experience, often haven't gone through conventional pathways of education or work, but that doesn't mean that they don't want to have that skill and ambition to do things, and we love to be able to support that. We've given our volunteers mechanic training. They have a relative amount of responsibility as well, which helps the organisation run and also lets them shine and lets their knowledge shine, which is incredible. And I wanted to talk a little bit about who our volunteers are. Everybody in these photos in yellow is one of our volunteers. You can see some of the things they do on the top two, which is driving our companion cycles. This one takes a wheelchair, and this one is a side-by-side tandem. The person can either sit back and enjoy the ride, or they can be involved in pedaling as well. It's really great for building up skills and progression to different kinds of cycles. And this one is great, the one that takes a wheelchair, for making sure that everybody in a group can be included in our cycling activities. We regularly do rides to cafes with different groups where people in a wheelchair can come along to because we have this bike. In the bottom row of photos, these ones are from our skills and confidence sessions. So we help, our volunteers help people try out different bikes, find the right one for them, develop the skills and confidence to move independently and develop those safe cycling skills. So I want to speak a bit more about who our volunteers are. 50% of our volunteers are aged 65 and older. We are an organisation which is, I would say, very intergenerational, and we really value the different perspectives that can give. We also know that 30% of our volunteers identify as having additional support needs, and they're very open about this. Some of them is health and mobility related, some of it is in the form of mental health challenges or neurodivergencies, and we try and accommodate as far as we can. We do things together as well. That's a very core focus for us, is that we know that our volunteers have the expertise and we see it as our job to give them what they need to help them to thrive. And overall, we're delighted to hear that 94% of our volunteers have developed positive relationships through volunteering with Sunny Cycles. That is wonderful, and it's something that we're really glad to support. And recently we did some interviews with our volunteers. At the top right, this is where we did it. We all went to a cafe, got a cake and a coffee, and we talked about what volunteering means to them and what we can do to support further personal development, leadership, and enjoyable things to volunteer with. Some of our members said, I want to share the experience that I've gained and the joy of cycling with others. It offers me a chance to stay active and sociable, which benefits both my mental and physical health, and mental and physical well-being. And this comes from somebody who's recently retired and wants to stay involved in the community. Another thing that somebody's let us know is that she thinks that volunteering is all about showing customers new possibilities and growing them to become more confident and happy in their lives. Cycling is the carrot which attracts people in, but there's no telling what that leads to. And I think that's very true when our volunteers then gain skills and confidence with us and go on to use it in different things or in different elements of our organisation, such as helping us present at different community events or NHS events, as well as helping us do our social media to spread the word about what we're doing, and helping shape the direction of the charity as well. It's not just about helping people cycle, there's a lot that people can help out with. And someone also said to us they just like working with the public and passing on their knowledge and experience to them. And I can tell you this is a very experienced person that I think could help anybody learn to cycle, which I think is lovely. I want to tell you a little bit about some of the groups that we do sessions with. So this one on the top left-hand side, this is a picture from one of our care home sessions at Victoria Park. We know that a lot of the residents in care homes can experience health challenges, but also well-being and social challenges. And for us, we know the benefits of getting out on the bike, the joy that can bring, but also the ability to have a chat and get to know some new faces and also socialise with the other residents that they live with. So you can see in this picture, we have the wheelchair transporter bike, which is over here, as well as two companion cycles, the side-by-side tandems, which allows a more experienced and more confident person to drive the bike, and the other companion can just sit back or they can pedal as well. Over here on the right-hand side is a session that we do on a monthly basis. I should say the care home sessions, we do several a month with different care homes. We have regular sessions as well, depending on what care home comes in. So APECA is a charity that's set up in Eaglesham. It helps people, adults with disabilities, to enjoy meaningful activities that are a bridge to community and that are challenging but also achievable, and that people can feel a real sense of achievement for participating. On this ride, we cycled to a favourite neighbourhood cafe, we all enjoyed tea and a coffee, and had a good chat. And it was a 3 kilometre ride each way, which I would say is very impressive for somebody going on one of these trikes. These tend to go at walking pace, so it was a very, very long ride for them, which is great that people can achieve that. Below on the left is a group session from Glasgow Association for Mental Health, Community Health. They were formerly known as Flourish House, if anybody knows them. They've recently had to change their name. But yeah, this is a community association supported by the NHS to help people with mild and moderate mental health issues. They provide different activities and again have a big emphasis on meaningful activity and being able to progress and get involved in things. On this kind of group session, we played a lot of games involving kind of a relay race with different objects to build teamwork and a real sense of relying on each other and enjoying being around other people to reduce that loneliness. In the bottom right-hand side, we've started up sessions with the NHS-backed Restart programme. It's something organised by the NHS to, again, help people with mild and moderate mental health issues. In this one, we also play games and encourage participants to get to know each other. And we have to say it's really enjoyable to work with the NHS, and we've loved developing that relationship more. I wanted to talk about what people feel when they're on these rides, because I want you to hear from the people that are on the bikes. One of our care home residents said, as a child, I could never afford a bicycle of my own. I used to borrow bikes from other children and dream of having one someday. Being back on a bike now feels very special. We absolutely love to hear that and what residents have an emotional connection to. It's really special to us. One of the alpaca participants said, when I'm on a bike, I feel confident and brave, which to me really sums up what makes an activity meaningful, and it sticks with them long after they've got off the bike as well. It's been great to see the participants at alpaca really develop their skills, and some of them have been told that they will never cycle due to their physical disabilities. But with the right support, it's really been possible, and some of them have progressed to riding two-wheel bicycles, which is just incredible to see that achievement. For the NHS Restart programme, people let us know two things which are important to them. One of them is that coming to our sessions got them out of their comfort zone and improves their mental and physical health. And also, it helped to get out and about and talking to people, helping my mental health. And for us, we feel that our participatory kind of approach to things has really helped develop those bonds between people and reduce the loneliness and isolation and stigma which comes with mental health problems. So in terms of the medium changes that we want to see through doing the activities we do and delivering our sessions is greater confidence and independence and stronger social connections with all of our participants. Overall, we want to see, I'm just going to go back, more people cycling regularly as part of their everyday lives, either an activity that they do regularly to build up those connections, or it's about leisure and improving their health and fitness, or it's about sustainable transport and accessibility of different parts, different services, different things people need to do in the city. We want to see reduced isolation as a direct result of those stronger social connections and getting more involved in community support. In the longer term, we want to see improved cycling skills and safety. We're also involved in consultations around inclusive and accessible design in Glasgow City and around infrastructure. We also want to make sure that we can expand the volunteering and leadership opportunities which we currently offer. The things that we need to do, all of these things, are our staff. Our staff salaries are funded by charitable funding as well as donations that we raise. It's crucial to do what we do. Our volunteers are amazing, and I hope that you can hear that from the quotes that they gave us. However, as an organisation, we cannot run purely on a volunteer basis. We need paid staff for insurance reasons, to ensure consistency across the sessions, to be able to support our volunteers as well. We also need our ride leaders who work for us as sessional staff to be able to deliver those 6 days a week of activities on top of our core sessions. We have several different fleets of bikes and adaptive bikes. We also need to maintain them and make sure that we have specialist parts to support people with disabilities. That looks like things like different types of handlebars, different seat belts, or calipers as well to help people with their posture. We need various parts of equipment just to make sure that people are well dressed to be able to enjoy all of the rides in the weather that Glasgow throws at us, which we all know can be anything. We have two different community hubs. We've got one on Glasgow Green, which is slightly bigger, it has slightly more different types of bikes there. We also have one at Victoria Park, and we just managed to open it more as we got a boost in our funding, which is great. We also need to work in partnerships with local authorities, local council, NHS, planning departments of the council. We are also developing our corporate sponsorship package to allow us to develop relationships with local businesses as another source of funding. So if anybody would like to discuss that, if anybody has any connections with companies that are looking to boost their corporate social responsibility, I would love it if you drop me a line. I've got my contact at the end of the presentations. And the thing that keeps all of the above running is grant funding from charitable funders, regular members' donations, and one-off donations. We're currently doing a fundraiser at the moment. It's called Petal Power. The idea behind that is that our logo is a sunflower, and the sunflower is also a symbol of hidden disabilities. So our fundraiser at the moment is growing sunflowers as a sponsorship exercise to help Sunny Cycles raise the funds that we need to make sure that we get the best out and invest the most in all of the above. We also run activities including corporate wellbeing sessions and events where people can hire us to provide cycling sessions. We can do team building, wellbeing, or other sessions using our bikes to show what we do. So the way that we provide the impact that we do is that we provide inclusive cycling to support the people that I spoke about first, people who want to cycle more, however, are excluded or have various barriers to doing that. So we tailored our activities specifically to address this, which includes cycling lessons to build confidence, adaptive cycling opportunities, particularly for people living with disabilities, and also women's rights to support people to develop confidence and overcome cultural barriers. In terms of community connection, for us that involves a lot of group activities, both developing groups in the wider community and in institutions such as care homes or NHS Restart or Rebecca. We also run awareness campaigns. Our social media frequently has different showcases what we do, the benefits of cycling, and the better world that it can lead to, a more connected world and a healthier world. We also develop our volunteers. We don't just have them doing things for us, we have them doing things with us, including shaping the organisation, delivering our programmes, mentoring, supporting others, and supporting us to develop our organisation and keep everything blossoming. The difference that we aspire to make overall is a more inclusive, connected, active, and healthier community where people of all ages and abilities can access cycling, participate in community life, and experience improved well-being. And I just wanted to show you this photo again of APECA, the charity for adults with disabilities, providing meaningful activities. I love this photo. It shows the different ranges of bikes that we have. It shows our volunteers and the high vis, and yeah, I think it's a wonderful picture, and I was so happy to be involved in that session. So what we are looking for in terms of support, your support really counts, and we are nothing without the people that help us. We are, as I said, doing a fundraiser involving growing sunflowers. You can find out about this on social media, which I will show on the next slide. Donations also really support us to be able to spend on what our grant funders limit us to. Charitable funding is often restricted to very specific costs. It often doesn't cover our staff costs as fully as we need it to be able to maintain our 6 days of services. Larger donations do go towards helping us do that, because as I said, our volunteers need staff support to be able to run, as well as we want to provide our services as consistently as possible, because people do depend on us to get out of the house, have a reason to go out, and know that there'll be people there that accept them and that understand them. We're also encouraging people at the moment to set a personal challenge. 2 people have done zipline challenges for us, which is incredible to see. We love seeing the photos, the pictures, and sharing them where possible, and it really does mean a lot to us. As I said earlier, there are services that we can provide as well. You can hire us for events such as community days, activity days, fairs if people want to try adaptive bikes. We can also provide company wellbeing and team building days. If anybody knows a company that's looking for a team building day, I would say that now is a great time. The sun is shining, Glasgow Green is as busy as ever, and I think it's a great day out to try something new that I don't think you will find anywhere else. In Glasgow, we do have the largest range of adaptive bikes, and to my knowledge, it's the largest range of adaptive bikes across Scotland. We're also looking for different types of support to develop our organisation. For example, do you have skills that you would like to volunteer as a board member, on a social media volunteer, as a financial planning volunteer, event management? We are really open to any help that people might be able to provide, as well as we're looking to develop our relationships with local companies to be able to have a more partnership working model. So if anybody has any opportunities, thinks anybody might be interested in doing what we're doing, speak to me. I'm very happy to follow up on things. I just wanted to say thank you. Here's a photo of one of our rides for New Scots and the asylum system. And to me, this just exemplifies what we're trying to do. We put smiles on faces at the end of the day. I wanted to let you know that all are welcome to come and visit us. You can join and become a member of the organisation as well. That allows you to have a say in the direction of the organisation and what we do. We also have a few board member places open too. If that would interest anybody, please let me know. We're on social media on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at sunnycycles22. You can find links to all of that on our website, which is super simple, sunnycycles.org.uk. I'll type that out in the chat soon. And myself, I'm May, I'm the development officer. Here is my personal email. I can also write that in the chat, and our inquiries email, which you'll find on the website. So I'll just copy and paste this and post it in the chat, and that's me done. I'm very happy to take any questions.
Thank you, May. Very interesting. How do you find actually finding venues for your activity? It looks like is it Glasgow Green is where you're concentrating at the moment?
So it's all over. We run our group sessions mostly from Glasgow Green. However, we started running care home sessions from Victoria Park recently as we just got some funding which allowed us to do that.
I think it's fair to say that you have offices in a nearby business centre as well.
Mm-hmm.
I visited the site where they keep the bikes, and also I've been in office as well. Had a nice cup of coffee, so it is central to that as well.
Where do you get your bikes, May? Are they sort of custom built? They must be custom built, I presume, or do some people have their own bespoke cycle? Do people come with their own adapted bikes, or do you just have a supply that they use for your session?
We have a supply, so we have our own fleet. They do come from various places. There's a couple of different manufacturers that we use, particularly Van Ram and Theraplay. These are specialist machines. They can be built to order. However, ours are built to kind of medium size to allow the majority of people to borrow them from us. But we can also offer advice and consultancy if people do want to go on and buy their own, which we have supported people to do before. These bikes also are very much not affordable to most people. Our bike that takes the wheelchair that I showed you a few photos of costs upwards of £10,000, including the imports. So it can be expensive. We find in general that it's relatively easy to get the funding that we need to purchase the equipment we have. Mm-hmm. However, the issue that we come up against is those routine costs that are less kind of exciting to fund, like our staff time to help us get the most out of the equipment that we have. Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that's good. It's interesting. We've at Largs, and sometimes we see at Largs, it's not disabled people, but it's for older people, obviously, and they sit on with their blanket, and the person behind is actually cycling them along, and it's lovely, for people to be out in the fresh air, as opposed to being taken in a car. They're so close to the community and on the pavement, and part of things. It's really nice. Having said that, our 3-year-old grandson just tonight before we came here, about a quarter of an hour before, fell off his bike and he's actually smashed his front tooth. So it's a bit of a catastrophe. So it's been a cycling evening.
Mhm.
Mm.
Good initiative, isn't it?
What about maintenance of them, May? How does that go? That'll be a big issue, I would have thought.
So it's something that we plan well in advance, and it's a regular thing. We make notes of the communal bikes that we use if any issues come up on the day. We plan regular full fleet maintenance. It's something that we have funding to do, which is great. But yeah, we plan it in advance. We also work with a local independent bike mechanic to come and maintain them. Some of the adaptive cycles we have are fairly specialist, so sometimes it can be difficult to order the replacement parts we need or order different things like leg calipers or adaptions to help people feel the most comfortable they possibly can on their bikes.
You mentioned, I suppose safety must be quite an issue, isn't it? Always feels as if we play lip service to providing like cycle lanes and all that kind of stuff. I mean, in theory, my house is a cycle lane, but I think it would be taking your life in your hands if you actually used it.
It can be an issue. We have health and safety officers in our organisation, some of which have worked in the military and in the firefighting service. So they really understand how to keep people safe. They have qualifications in this. In terms of the infrastructure, our routes, if we do lead rides, always planned well in advance. Our ride leaders very much know the area and what's safe to use and what's not, also depending on the group's competency. For us, we think it's always better to go slowly than do too much at once. And for us, a lot of our participants are return regularly, so it's really good to get a sense of what someone's confidence and capability is, and we build that up gradually. We're not all about throwing people on the roads. So yeah, it's something that we deal with. We're also involved in the Inclusive and Accessible Design Forum at Glasgow City Council about walking and cycling infrastructure. We know it's not ideal, for us, something that we've been working on communicating to the council is that some of the traffic lights which can see the shape of a bike, like the bike, they monitor what traffic passes them, and they can pick up a two-wheeled bicycle. However, they can't pick up one of the three-wheeled bicycles, so the lights don't change. So it's like a problem that they probably never even saw. However, it's a problem that we have, and we're discussing what that solution would look like.
We're just back from Millport this afternoon. Obviously, if you're aware of Millport, it's famous with cycles going around. It's there's hundreds of people go around all the time, but it's quite difficult just now with the bus and the new ferry system. It's very, very quite dangerous, in fact. But once you get past the busy bit, it's really lovely when you get to the back of the island. But it's such a nice thing for people to do, getting out on a bike. I think it's good. It's good. Especially for children, younger people as well, and with disability. Yeah.
We see cycling as a life skill that everybody should have the opportunity to develop, regardless of background, health conditions, disabilities. We feel it's so involved in confidence and can really boost self-esteem that we want to share the chance to do that to everybody who wants to do it.
Yeah.
Well, May, that's great. Thank you very much for coming along. It's been interesting to say, and we'll see whether there's anything we can actually do to support you. Bill's in contact with lots of people who may be able to help. I don't know. So it's interesting, and more power to you. Hopefully, you obviously you're keeping going quite well and you're developing further. So thank you for that. And so can I ask the members just to show the appreciation in the usual way of virtual.
Yeah.
Okay.